Merry Meetle, it's Winter Samhuinn and I'm just continuing my vlog on my shopping haul and bits and pieces I've got over the year that I haven't shared yet. So, without further ado, let's get into the books. Okay, so as mentioned before, some of these are more Wiccan sort of based, but I still enjoy some of the artwork, things like that. Even though I don't do religion myself, I'm a Wic of the old ways. But a lot of the things in Wicca have actually been taken from my ethnos, or European folklore and ethnicos. So, you know, I just extract the bits I like and just ignore the things I don't like. And I do like to collect these things, even if I don't agree with them. I'm one of these people that likes to study and understand what I don't agree with before I solidify that I don't agree with it, but that's just me. So without further ado, let's have a look at some of these. And let's start with a deck. So I did get a deck, Wiccapedia, and so of course it's a cut from Wicca, and then they've got Pedia. So even within Wicca, there are certain laws or correspondences that are staple. I don't think they're quite correct even in this, but that's okay. I mean, I'm one of these people, I'm someone who believes in adapting things that reflect your ethnos, your roots, and who you are. You know, to not just copy things. Always put your bend on it, even if it is pretty ethnically appropriate for you. I still believe in putting your own spin on it. Anyway, without further ado, it is a very pretty deck. It came in this box. I will do a proper review on it on the wiki site or the magic site. Sorry, I just thought I heard someone, but I didn't. The cards are nice. So basically this deck is a whole deck of cards based on different areas. So Sabbats is pretty much well, origins aren't really European, but the holidays and traditions of European focuses and living on the land have been acknowledged as Sabbats. So there's a bit of a background to that. I'll probably go into that one day, but not on this site. There's money and career, self-care, healing, protection, and they just have spells. Again, correspondences are pretty much European based. That does not mean that they are the same for other races, especially like usually East and West are completely opposite, which is a good thing. We are getting into a very dangerous place in the world where one group is controlling everything, and that is going down a path of destroying every difference and making everything the same, which is for communism, which is not native to Asia, by the way, or Russia. Okay, so let's get into more books. So the other book I got, or book type thing, is another journal, and this is a Wiccapedia journal. Now I like this journal because it's got pretty much blank pages where I can write out spells I do or make up, and it's a hardcover. For me personally, I can never have enough journals for doing spells and writing out my visions, thoughts, dreams, experiences. Some people may call them paranormal. I refer to them as spiritual. I don't do religion, but I'm a very spiritual person. I usually find people who do religion lack spirituality, which is why they lean so hard into the religion. I'll probably do a vlog on that one day. So this is another hardback book, The Green Witch by Anne Murphy Hiscock. Again, I like the paper. I like the presentation. She's got a whole bunch of spells here. What else? Pretty much wise working with herbs and plants. And again, if you're coming out from a different ethnos, I would, by all means, know about the European ways of doing things, because most of these are based on European, even if they are coming from someone who is not European ethnically and they're from the Middle East and adopting the European ways, which to me is kind of weird. But use that as a basis, but then go back to your own ethnos and draw from your roots and folklore and then make it your own. Because magic is about your connection to your roots. Your connection to your roots is the original connection to nature or magic of your people or your race. And there's 5 main races in the world. And this is going back from my maternal bloodline and the folklore through that has been passed down through an oral tradition from my uncle who passed. I didn't get to spend as much time with him as I would have liked, and it was very short that I got to spend with him as a child, but it stuck with me, and I did have some very constant spirit guides throughout all my life, no matter where I was in the world, whether if I was alone or not. They were always there, so I was never really alone. So I am liking this book. I can't wait to get into it, even if I don't agree with some things. There's also this thing as, even if I don't agree with someone's work, I like to support anyone doing this sort of work. I kind of get worried about the major isms taking over the world, and Handmaiden's Tale, and just going back to the medieval times of the religious cults, literal witch burnings, all that sort of stuff. I mean, people think, oh yeah, that will never happen, but just look at the cancel culture. And I'm going to do a rant on this one day. I think there's a rant in there, but not for today. So here's another journal. This is a Herbal magic journal. There's a little bit of info at the front. It's hardcover. I love the pages, how they're like an off colour. I don't really like the stark white pages of books. I like them looking a bit grainy and old. And there are basically blank pages that you can journal and diary. Again, I like that sort of thing because it encourages people to, you might get a bit of information from one person's perspective or a perspective of a culture, but then you have a space to sort of like write in and do your own thing. If you're not authentic to yourself, your blood, your roots, then you have no defining foundation to which magic can be worked, and nature is magic. If you're dishonest to yourself, you can't be honest to the natural world, because you, as a human, you're part of the animal kingdom, you're part of the natural world. So anyway, another rant in there, I guess, for another day. But I do like this book. It's nice. I like the colour in the pictures. Again, when it comes to correspondences, these are usually more European based. The European family is very much like the Proto-Ace family of plant kingdom. We have Italian, Greek, German, English. The Gaelic people, the Celts, came out from the Norsemen, so there really is no dividing line, but we have so many different looks within the European diaspora, from brown eyes to green eyes to blue eyes and grey, from dark hair to blonde hair to red hair and brown, tanned to not tanned, peaches and cream to ash white and skin colour. So we do have quite a diverse range, and also the languages that are developed from the original source, sort of like they really did spread out. But anyway, so I'm liking this as a hardcover. I'm going to go over these books individually, but on my other site, the weird site, which I will add a link to the comment section if you haven't subscribed to that. I like to keep the posts in this duat vlog YouTube channel more home based, and this sort of thing, if I get into it, I like to go into it in the other site, because just sort of separate things a little bit, which is hard because sometimes it's like, where does one start and where does one finish? It sort of gets pretty convoluted. Here's another hardcover by, again, Arin Murphy Hiscock, and this is the Green Witch's Garden. I think if you're a wise worker, if you're which literally means German or ethnically European white, even if you got a tan, wise worker. So if you're a wise worker, you know, of the Germanic origins, Germania or European, or whether you're a wise worker from a different culture, such as African roots, I think all the wise crafting is the connection to nature. So it kind of makes me laugh a little bit when someone says green witch, because it's like, well, if you're a white wise worker, then to not be connected to nature and draw strength from that, that's, you're not working with magic, because that's what magic is the natural world and all the in-betweens that encompass the natural world, which are outside of the mundane, but they're still part of the natural world. We just can't quantify in science yet. You know, a bit like the mind, the amount of space in the mind we don't understand. So anyway, but the focus is at least on the green, so, you know, that's a good thing. Again, I like these pages. This book is a sort of a companion to the actual Green Witch book, and also I don't have a, no, it's on my list. No, it's this one. There's also a journal, I believe. No, there's a couple of other books in this series, which I do want to get. So I've got the complete series. What else? Now, okay, I have little suspicions on this lass that she may be from the Semitic persuasion and posing as heathen. Now, I still don't quite care too much, but it's important to know that, because if you're coming from an ethnic European perspective and then you've got someone from another culture adapting yours and then telling it through their eyes, of course it's going to be different and not quite true to your roots. But I'm very interested to see what she's got to say about a few things. I don't even really like the term heathen. I mean, again, I find what has happened a lot in the past and now is they turn a racial group into a religion, and I think that causes a lot of problems, because of that too, you're also removing actual definitive of what something is. You know, someone Chinese can all of a sudden say that they're heathen. Someone like me that's white can all of a sudden say I'm Chinese, because there's no longer any rules. Anything's anything. So then, therefore, nothing means everything. It's a very dangerous place. But I'm really interested to see what she's got to say. So from what I can see, this grimoire is based on elements, and there's like shadow work and journals and things you can do working with the elements. So I'm really interested to give this a go. It's something I'll probably take a bit of time doing as well, just like with the other books. And I will share what I think, the good and the bad. But again, I like supporting this sort of work, even if I don't agree with it and whatever. Anything that encourages people to explore beyond the Abrahamic mind traps that have been pushed upon people, including Semitic people. A lot of Semitic people believe that, you know, their origins are of that religious base, and their origins are actually older than that, and are very much like the Europeans. How our origins are based in the natural world, and most of us were polytheistic or atheist the same was in the Middle East, but of course their gots are different to ours, which is why they have their different look, their different ways of thinking, different strengths and weaknesses. Is how it's meant to be. Anyways, I'm really interested. So this is Danielle Dulsky. I would probably say she's got some Polish or something of that matter in there, and she I don't know much about her, so I will do a bit of delving, but there's something about this book that sort of drew me a little bit too. I have found myself to be distracted with the inertia of everything that's going on at the moment in my life, which is very not dogmatic, but very the day-to-day, being on campus, putting up with nonsense, the day-to-day, very soulless. It feels like everything around me is very soulless, I guess, and it's probably a sign of the times we're in too, where there's a lot of sort of fakery, posing, LARPing. I thought when I started Hort on campus that people would be as in tune with the natural world and natural law and everything like I was, because but unfortunately I'm finding along the way there's people that are just playing the role, but they don't actually live by nature's law. They're still trying to change it, and that's just weird. I don't know what it is. Something I need to think about and put my finger on, and maybe I just need to mull things over. I don't know. Bit weird. I just find it really weird. So because of all this, I feel really out of sorts. My usual strength and spine and foundation of knowing who I am, where I am, what I'm doing is kind of rattled at the moment, because I haven't been, doing my typical rituals of the season. I haven't been doing my spell work and shadow journeying and, reaching out for the other realms like I usually do. And, I feel like that Wic side of me has sort of been pressed down in order to do these other things, and that's never a good thing. I think everyone should be their spirit side is the most important thing, and sometimes I feel like educational institutions and things like that, they're there to kill your spirit, so you come out like an approved product to aid the machine. If that makes any sense, that's how it feels. But anyway, a diary for another time. So they're the books. And did I get the books done? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I got a couple of acquisitions, yarn acquisitions. Now, not actual yarn, but yarn, but acquisitions for garning. Let me just see where I've popped my rings. I have some Nordic crafting rings, and I don't know where I've put them, dang it. Oh well, we'll just leave them out for now. I got these, check out these double pointed needles. These are from Addi, so this is from Germany, and they are so freaking small. But look at the tips. See that? They're only an inch. So these are going to be awesome for doing little work, including wristers. So I'm really looking forward to using these. I've got 3.75 and 2.5. Obviously I want to get some more, but these are fixed and not interchangeable. But I think this is going to be perfect for doing things like socks and wristers. You just got to get the knack of using them. Also, I finally got an awesome set of stitch markers. Now these are gourd, so they're gourd shaped pins, and I originally had just gold. This time I bought a whole tray of different colours, which is really good for working with different kinds of yarn or garn and colours of garn. So I'm pretty stoked with that. I will add a link to where I got them from, and I got them on eBay. And in regards to projects, I'll finish off with projects very quickly because I'm kind of on a roll here. I finally finished my poncho, my Nordic poncho from Novita in the Gaelic chakra colours, and I'm so happy with it. It's so nice and heavy. I made a few modifications to the sizing and everything, and I used USA style garn. I also use, and that garn is like 4.5 recommended tension in needles. However, I used, I believe, a 4mm hook and 3.5 or 3.75 knitting needles, and I used the Knitter's Pride Dream needles? Can't even remember. But anyway, they're interchangeable circular knitting needles. Also, this is also very much a Mabon sort of red colouring. I love those crochet vest, you know, the fitted ones. But when it comes to winter, I just feel like I can't get enough layers on. So I wanted something really boxy. So I just pretty much free-formed, just made a crochet vest, which was boxy, large, and I used my crochet to actually do rib as well. So I did a crochet in the front post, crochet behind the front, crochet in the back post, alternate to do a rib. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's so comfy. I'm going to do this a few times in different colours, and as I iron it out, I will actually put this pattern up at some point. But yes, and I used a 5mm hook with that one, and I'm sort of, as I'm making coasters and placemats for every season, for 8 seasons of the year. So these are the coasters. This is for Samhuinn. I'm also making a vest in those colourings, and I'll probably make some pillow covers in those colourings as well. This one is Mabon, so I want to do a vest in these colours of Mabon. I'll show you the actual placemats. So this one here is for Autumn's Lou. I like green in there for Lou, but I just really wanted it more sunflowers, the petals themselves, grain and bread. So there's the placemat for Samhuinn, which is now. This is the placemat I made for Mabon or fall, and I can't wait to do a vest in this colouring, because this just makes me feel really, can't really pick it up on the camera, I don't think. It's just nice and rich, and I don't know, like grapes off the vine, if you like, which is the whole point of that. So I'm going to do, that's 3, I'll be doing 5 more in different colours for different seasons, and then I'll be stashing them in my kitchen shelf for chargers and coasters. I'm aiming to have a little bit of scrappy yarn here and there. So here's a coaster, and that's for Lou. So again, it's very sunflowery. I'm aiming to have a hot with my scraps is to use patterns by Moral Fibre to make my own pixie belts with mushroom pouches and little round pouches and square pouches, so I can actually put in vials for when I'm doing seed collection and that sort of thing. So yeah, I wish I could just fast forward and have all this stuff done, but c'est la vie, life. So anyway, I finally finished the poncho. I also made a vest that I'm absolutely loving, and I can't wait to make more colours. I'm also completing chargers and coasters to go with the seasons. I'm still doing those Mandel blankets in different colours, another pattern from Novita. I'm hoping to actually finish a few seasons of coasters and chargers this weekend, possibly even start another vest, a Mabon vest. and we'll see how we go. I've got study to do as well. But anyway, that's me, being a busy bee, and yeah, I hope everyone's keeping sane and safe from the craziness. And I do believe I've got some things that have been really late in shipping. When they come, there's like home novelty sort of things. I will share them when they come, and by then I also should have my pictures up in my apothecary, and at that point of time I should be able to go in there and show you through, or I should be able to show you through there, so it will look a bit more tidier, and I'll do that on the same post most likely. But anyway, that's it from me. Keep yourself busy, and if you're finding yourself struggling a little bit, map some time out for yourself. Treat yourself to some things, especially if you've got some things that have been on the list for a very long time. You know, just trying to achieve non-stop is kind of an empty way of living. If you're not feeling alive, then you're not looking forward to some things, you're not doing stuff for yourself, you're doing it just to achieve something, then, you know, you can only do that for so long before you start burning out. Dani in the southern hemisphere, where in winter Samhuinn, up in the north you'd be in your summer's Beltana. And in the winter especially, she's so harsh. You know, you really got to be careful how you push yourself. Like by now you should have a lot of things done so you can rest up a little bit. But me personally, I've been pretty caught out. So I don't know, we'll see how we go. Blessed be Mary Part. Thanks for sharing in my post today. I had to get myself sorted, get the bathtub going, because my ducks will be waiting at the back door for their evening bath before they go to bed. And I really do wish everyone the best. And for some reason I just feel like there's something I need to say and I just can't think of it right now. Anywho's, blessed be and Mary Part.